Good evening, everyone. So today I'm here with my third video on cost of debenture. Previous two videos on this topic has already been uploaded on my YouTube channel. So before watching this video, I recommend you to please go and watch my previous two videos on this topic. This topic is very important topic, financial management. So in my previous two videos, I talked in depth, in fact, about cost of irredeemable debentures. Irredeemable debentures means the debentures which does not have any maturity date. That means they are perpetual debentures. They will exist forever. Okay. So about properties of debentures, everything has been mentioned in those two videos. So please go and watch those videos. Again, about the definition part, so cost of debenture is defined as it is an annual interest expense paid on the borrowed money. So two parties will be involved in this. One party will borrow money from the other party. So this cost of debt and debenture comes into play. So basically, we try to figure out the annual expense. Annual means interest rate per annum. Okay, per annum. So this is the definition part. So in length, if you want to understand what is happening, please go and watch my previous two videos. You will understand. Once again, I'm repeating this. So this video is primarily focused on cost of redeemable debentures. Okay. So, but before that, I just want to give you some idea that what is happening. Okay. So just imagine that this is a company which is in need of fund and they want to raise some capital from the investors. Investors means bond holders for this chapter. Okay, so they plan to issue 10% debentures in the market. So they are going to issue debentures in the market. Debentures issue means taking loan from the market. Debentures and debt, all these instruments are considered as a loan from the market. They are different from equity shares. So the background is here. This company, this is a very big company, they want to raise capital, okay, and they plan to issue this 10% debenture in the market. Okay, so this 10% debenture means that if someone gives them rupees 100 for 1 unit, they fix the price of 1 unit as rupees 100. That means if someone is willing to give them money, so they will give them 1 unit of the bond. Okay, so this is investor, an investor in the market. So he will become the bond holder because he is interested into buying the bond of this particular company. So this particular company, they fixed the price of their one bond as rupees 100. So this person, this investor, this bond holder gave rupees 100 to this company to buy 1 unit of bond. So in exchange, this company will give this investor, this bondholder, 1 unit of bond. Okay. Since this is 10% debenture, 10% debenture, this company has issued 10% debenture. So, this investor, he will not give this money for free. Okay, since he has invested rupees 100 and bought 1 unit of bond from this company. So bond is a kind of agreement between two parties, and this is considered as a loan. So this company has taken loan from this investor. So in exchange, this company will keep on paying 10% of this amount, which is the face value. So in debenture, there is an important feature that is known as the face value of the bond, that is written on the bond paper. So whenever bond is issued, they can be issued at par. Par means face value. They can be issued at premium, and they can also be issued at discount. In length, I have discussed in my previous two videos. So please go and watch. Okay. So now this is the benefit every year rupees 10 this company will give to the investor. Okay, because it is considered as a loan. Okay. Now, what is redeemable debenture? So, redeemable debenture will come with a maturity date. So, in order to define this redeemable debenture in the examination, what you will write? Redeemable debenture will have a maturity date. Okay, on maturity date, debenture is redeemed. Redeemed means returned back. Okay, who will return back? This company had taken money from this investor, from this bondholder. So, this company will have to pay back this amount which they had taken. Debenture is redeemed to the debenture holder at par or premium. Okay, so sometimes the company what they'll decide that they will be returning this money to the bondholder at the time of maturity with some premium. They can also give them the principal amount. So giving returning at the face value is known as par, and returning with some premium amount with some benefit is known as premium. Very important here to note that debentures are never redeemed at discount. So this can be asked in the examinations. So at the time of redemption, the company should not return less money to the investor. Okay, less money to the bondholders. Otherwise, if this happens, then no one will be investing into the company. And why someone will be taking less money which they had earlier taken, right? So this is making no sense. Okay, so debentures are never redeemed at discount. Okay, I hope you understood what is the meaning of redeemable debenture. Redeemable debenture will have a maturity date. For example, this agreement will go only for 5 years, okay, not beyond 5 years. Irredeemable debentures, what we had seen that there was no condition of 5 years, 10 years, or 15 years, okay. That means that was a kind of perpetual in nature, okay. So to understand this better, let us consider the same debenture which the company has issued in the market in order to raise the capital. So this is the case of redeemable debenture issued on 21st of July 2025. I have taken the date on this Monday, okay, 21st of July for 5 years. That means if today is the 21st of July 2005, and if we draw a timeline, and if we are standing here, that means uh, the 100 rupees the company has taken has to be returned back after 5 years to the investor. So we'll have to draw a timeline for 5 years, okay, like this, okay, one, two, three, and four. So this is the timeline we need to draw to figure out that what is happening. So here company will take this rupees 100. So why I have written minus 100 here? So I'm just writing this. I'm just looking at this from the debenture holder's point of view. So from the debenture holder's point of view, this will be cash outflow. Cash will go from his pocket, right? So minus 100. In return, what he will get from this 10% debenture, he will get rupees 10 every year as a coupon. Had there been a case of 12% here, every year the bondholder will get 12. So how do we calculate coupon benefit? Here it is 10% debenture, so it will be 10% of the face value at which it was issued. Okay, the face value always. So bond will always have a face value. Try to understand the words which I am using over here. Words are very important. So coupon benefits are always calculated on the face value of the bond, and face value is always rupees 100 or 1000 as per the situation given in the question. Okay. So for next 5 years, if the bondholder remains invested into this bond, every year he will be getting rupees 10 as a benefit. Okay. But now the situation has come when this bond will cease to exist, right? Because this bond was issued only for 5 years. You invested here 5 years back. Now the time has come when your money will be given back to you from the company. Okay, so how much company can return you? They will be returning you your face value back to you, right? But for the better understanding, I am considering that this company decided to give you back at 10% premium. So how much they will be giving you in return? They will not be giving you only 100. They will be rather giving you 110. Okay, so I'm just writing that this bond was redeemed at 10% premium. So how this 110 was calculated? This was calculated using this 100 plus 10% of this 100. So this will be 110. So apart from getting these all coupon benefits, the bondholder got additional rupees 10 as a benefit at the time of maturity, at the time of redemption. Okay, this is very, very important. Okay. Now we are moving towards the formula part. So what is going to be the formula of cost of redeemable debentures? Because we have already seen the what is the formula of cost of irredeemable debentures, right? So if you remember, this was the formula of irredeemable debenture, where I was the annual interest expense. Annual interest expense means this rupees 10 that the company was paying every year, because annual interest expense means every year how much company is paying back to the investor. So income for someone is the cost for someone. So income for investor is the cost for the company. So that is why cost of debenture. And this was the tax shield component that was multiplied, right? And what is NP? NP is here net proceed. Please go and watch my previous two videos. You will get to know what are these terms used over here. Now, consider the case like rupees 100 was taken by the company, and at the time of maturity, rupees 100 was returned. That means it was redeemed at premium. Okay. So that means 100 was taken and 100 was returned back. That means there was no other benefit. that was given apart from these coupon benefits. Okay, so if that being the case, redeemable debentures, despite having the maturity date, there won't be any problem with this formula. But the moment it is redeemed at premium, the formula will change a little bit. Why? Because here investor is getting additional rupees 10 at the time of maturity for staying for 5 years. Okay, staying for 5 years because this bond is getting redeemed at 10% premium. So they are not only getting this rupees 10, because if we divide this additional rupees 10 among these 5 years, that means every year, because we have to calculate cost of debenture per annum, right? This is annual interest expense, right? So every year, this 10 divided by 5 years, that means every year 2 rupees additionally this bondholder got as the benefit, right? So that 2 rupees we are ignoring over here. If we use this formula, then we'll ignore those 2 rupees benefit, because again, those 2 rupees benefit which this bondholder is getting, right? That is an expense for the company. So company has to calculate the expense accurately, right? So we'll have to figure out those, and we'll have to accommodate the difference, that additional rupees two which the company is paying over here, considering this situation, right? So in order to accommodate, in order to adjust those rupees 10, we are going to write this in this formula. RV means redeemable value, that means 110 minus NP. What is NP? Net proceed. 110 minus 100 will give you 10 divided by number of years, divided by 5. So ultimately, why we are dividing by the number of years? Because we have to calculate the annual interest expense. Annually, how much benefit the bondholder has got from the company. Okay, because that will be the cost of the company. So this, if you do the calculation, this 110 minus 100 divided by 5 will give you 2 rupees. So additional 2 rupees, that is what we were talking about, right? So this we have accommodated. Always remember, RV means, this means redeemable value, that will be given at the time of maturity. Okay, at the time of maturity. What is NP? Net proceed, that is received by the company at the time of issue, after adjusting for all the issue cost and flotation cost. Please go and try to understand this NP in detail in my previous two videos that is uploaded. Okay, divided by number of years. I hope there's no doubt at all that how these terms are getting included in this formula of cost of redeemable debentures. Okay. Now, since we have accommodated redeemable value over here, so only writing this NP will not be the correct way. We will have to take the average of these two, this NP and redeemable value. Because redeemable value, if we take the average of 100 plus 110 divided by 2, because we got the benefit, see, at the time of issue also, the issuer needs to make some reserve for debentures that is going to be redeemed in the coming future. We call that debenture redemption reserve. So that entry is also passed. So the company is already known, because at the time of issue itself, this is mentioned that this bond will be issued at a premium at the time of maturity. So they start making the reserve. Okay. So debenture redemption reserve is another topic, but for the simplicity, we'll ignore those parts for now. Okay. So NP plus RV. Okay, that will be the correct way to figure out what is going to be the cost of debenture. So that is why we are adding over here NP plus RV by 2. Here always remember that in the denominator part, we will be taking the average of NP and RV divided by 2, whereas here it will be number of years. That means the maturity duration will be written. So these two things are very, very important. Okay. So having understood the formula part of cost of debenture, let us write over here and try to figure out, taking the same example which we started. Okay. So suppose the annual interest expense for the company is rupees 10, which is given to the bondholder. And suppose the tax rate over here is 40%. So 40% can be written as 0.4 plus RB I have taken as 110 minus 100 divided by number of figures, and all those figures I have put in over here. And let's calculate this. You will get 0.07619, and that will effectively give you 7.61% per annum. And this is how we calculate the cost of redeemable debentures. So I hope it is clear. The understanding of the formula is also clear. And if you have any doubt, you can let me know in the comments. I will try to solve those doubts, because the more doubt you ask, your concepts will become more clearer. Okay. So with this, I rest this chapter. So I would again recommend you to practice more and more. And before examination, just try to see these videos and just try to revise. So that will help you in the examination to understand this concept better. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Take care. Thank you so much. Bye bye.